Well, my friend, if someone suddenly asked you, can you bring 2 million people together in one place? Not only that, but can you make them all move in the same way at the same time with your one word, one gesture? What would you say? Would you laugh, or would you think it was an impossible challenge? And if it were said, these 2 million people are all from different countries, different languages, different cultures. Some speak English, some Arabic, some Bengali, some Urdu, and some don't even understand each other's languages then. Would you think it was possible for any human being to do it? And if it were said, you have to do this whole task in just 20 minutes, then would you say, impossible? Or would you say, maybe it's possible if you try? Come on, my friend. In today's story, we will see this very impossible become possible. We will stand in front of a real scene that can only be believed with your eyes, and that scene will awaken many questions within you, questions that you may have never found the answers to before. In a corner of New York City, amidst the hustle and bustle, there are people whose stories are never heard. This is the story of two friends, one Christian, the other Muslim. Their friendship was not an ordinary friendship, but a deep relationship of trust, respect, and understanding built over the years. The Christian friend, Daniel, is a successful businessman. He has a large company, a huge office, and numerous employees. All in all, he is an established man. On the other hand, the Muslim friend, Yasin, he also does business. But although not as big as Daniel, there was a kind of peace, a kind of stability within him that Daniel would occasionally notice. Daniel often wondered, why is Yasin always so calm? Why is there no restlessness within him? Because Daniel's own life was the exact opposite. He has money, a name, and success, but there remains an emptiness inside, which he cannot tell anyone. And this emptiness gradually teaches him to question. Yasin had one thing that was different. He never imposed his faith on anyone, but rather influenced people with his behavior and actions. Seeing this behavior, many of Daniel's Christian friends came closer to him, spent time with him, and, surprisingly, some of them started to learn about Islam, and some even converted to Islam on their own accord. These events did not escape Daniel's eyes. He was watching everything, but silently, because a conflict was working inside him. Why are they changing? What is it about this faith that attracts them? One day, Yasin himself thought, I have talked to so many people. So many people have learned something from me. But my closest friend Daniel, why doesn't he understand anything yet? But he knew faith cannot be forced. It has to be felt. So one day, Yasin said to Daniel, Friend, we have been working together for a long time. Come to my house one day, sit down and talk. Daniel was surprised at first, because Yasin usually doesn't invite anyone like this. But he agreed. That day was a quiet evening. Entering Yasin's house, Daniel noticed the house is very simple, but there is a strange tranquility. There are no expensive pictures on the walls, but a simple calligraphy hangs. Simple food on the table, but everything is very tidy. After eating and drinking, Yasin slowly started talking. Friend, I want to ask you a question, but before that, there is one condition. You answer openly. Daniel smiled and said, Okay, tell me. Yasin paused and said, Do you think it is possible to bring 2 million people together in one place and force them all to do something at the same time? Daniel laughed. Friend, is this a movie story? How is this possible? Yasin said, I give you 2 million people. Daniel said, Then the problem is not people, but where can I get such a big place? Yasin said again, Here, I gave that place too. Daniel became a little serious. Okay, then it might be possible, but controlling everyone together? That's difficult. Yasin slowly started to increase the question. And what if these people are not from the same country? What if they are from 100 different countries? Daniel fell silent for a while now. Then the matter will become much more difficult. And what if they speak different languages? Yasin asked. Daniel sighed now. Then it's almost impossible. And what if I say, this work can be done in 20 minutes? Yasin said calmly. Daniel now said directly, No, it's not possible. It's not possible at all. Yasin then just smiled. There was a kind of confidence in that smile, a kind of certainty, as if he knew what he was going to say. "Let's take you somewhere," Yasin said. Daniel agreed, surprised. But he didn't know. This journey wasn't just a trip. It would confront him with the biggest questions of his life. That night, they set off. The destination? The city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. But the question is, what does Yasin really want to show? Is there really a place where 2 million people move together in the same way? And if there is, how is that possible? And the biggest question, can Daniel believe what he sees with his eyes? Their journey begins in search of answers to these questions. A journey that not only changes the country, can also change the faith within people. The next morning, they board the plane. Leaving the busy sky of New York, they slowly move forward towards a completely different world. Daniel was looking out the window. As the sunlight broke through the layers of clouds and fell on the wings of the plane, it felt like he was moving away from his familiar life little by little. Yasin was silent. He knew that the real answer to this journey was hidden not in any words, but in a scene. After a long journey, they reached the city of Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. From there, they set off by car towards Mecca. Desert on both sides of the road, but even in that dryness, there was a strange peace. Daniel occasionally glanced at Yasin, but Yasin's face had that same silent confidence, as if he knew exactly what was going to happen. Arriving in Mecca, they checked into a high-rise hotel, a room from which a part of the Kaaba could be seen in the distance. Daniel stood by the window and looked down. He saw some people, some walking, some sitting. Everything was normal. He smiled a little and said, "Friend, it looks normal here. Where is that thing you were talking about?" Yasin only said, "Wait a little longer." Time was slowly moving forward. The afternoon light was getting a little softer. Suddenly, a melody was heard all around, the call to prayer. That sound seemed to wake up the entire city at once. Daniel stopped. He had never heard anything like it before. A call, but not just a sound, like a call. He asked in surprise, "What is this?" Yasin said calmly, "This is the call to prayer. Now look." Within a few minutes of the call to prayer ending, what Daniel began to see was beyond his imagination. People started coming from all directions. Small shops were closing. Some were running, some were walking, but everyone seemed to be heading in a certain direction. At first he thought maybe a few thousand people, but within 5 minutes the number had grown so much that he couldn't understand where so many people were coming from. People in white clothes started standing in rows. One line, then another line, then another. Slowly the entire area filled up. Daniel's eyes widened. He couldn't look down and count. He could only understand it was thousands, millions of people. "Did they all come together?" he said in surprise. Yasin replied, "Keep looking." What happened next became the most incredible scene of Daniel's life. An imam stood in front, holding a microphone, giving instructions. No shouting, no chaos. Then a moment. Everyone raised their hands together at the same time. People in white clothes started standing in rows. One line, then another line, then another. Slowly, the entire area filled up. Daniel's eyes widened. He couldn't look down and count. He could only understand it was thousands, millions of people. "Did they all come together?" he said in surprise. Yasin replied, "Keep looking." What happened next became the most incredible scene of Daniel's life. An imam stood in front, holding a microphone, giving instructions. No shouting, no chaos. Then, a moment, everyone raised their hands together. At the same time, in the same posture. Daniel's body shuddered. Then, everyone stood, bowed, prostrated, stood again. Everything in the same rhythm, at the same time, at the same speed. No one was making a mistake. No one was doing anything different. Like a vast ocean, and each wave rose and fell in the same way. Daniel whispered in surprise, how is this possible?" The words started to spin in his head. 2 million people. Different languages, different countries, at the same time, in the same way. And this is happening without any instructions, without any chaos. He slowly sat down in the chair, his eyes still down, but his thoughts were far away. "Are they all like you?" he asked. Yasin said, "No, some of them are from America, some from Africa, some from Asia. Some are rich, some are poor, but standing here, they are all one." Daniel said slowly, "But they don't understand each other's language. How are they still together?" Yasin said a little more deeply this time, "Because they are not connected by words, by purpose." This statement went deep inside Daniel. He looked down again. This time, he wasn't just seeing people. He was seeing an idea, a unity, a discipline that he had never seen in his life. Questions began to arise in his mind. What kind of power is there that can bind so many people together? What kind of faith that transcends language, country, culture, everything? Yasin didn't say anything because he knew there was no need to speak at this moment. Daniel was looking for the answer himself. The prayer ended. People slowly started to disperse, but Daniel was still sitting still. With surprise in his eyes, a strange thought was working. He slowly said, "Friend, what I saw, this is not an ordinary thing." Yasin only said, "I told you, I will show you in 20 minutes. Daniel nodded, but this time he didn't smile. His eyes were now questioning, and that question would lead him to the next most important moment in the story, where he would not just see a scene, but would stand before a decision. Even after the prayer ended, Daniel sat quietly for a long time. His eyes were downcast, but one question after another seemed to be arising inside him. What he had seen a few minutes ago had shaken his entire thinking, because he understood this was not just a religious ritual. This was a discipline. A unity that did not match any of his real-life experiences. In his business world, there are thousands of employees, meetings, instructions, but there is chaos, mistakes, delays. People think differently. But here, millions of people, no arguments, no confusion, moving together in the same way. And the more he thought about this comparison, the more the emptiness inside him became clearer. He slowly said, "Friend, I have seen many big events in my life, conferences, stadiums, corporate shows, but I have never seen anything like this. Here, no one is shouting orders to anyone, yet everyone knows what to do. How is this possible?" Yasin was silent for a while and said, "What you saw was just a scene from the outside, but inside it, there is a rule, a purpose, a belief that unites people of their own free will, not by force." Daniel began to think a little deeper now. He understood. This thing was not just an organization, it was an inner force, he said again. But these people don't know each other. There is no agreement between them, no corporate structure, yet they are moving together so perfectly. How do they learn this? Yasin said calmly, "With small habits, several times a day, with the same rules, with the same purpose, and most importantly, by surrendering yourself to something bigger than yourself." This statement deeply struck Daniel because his whole life revolved around himself, his own success, his own goals, his own achievements. But here he was seeing people leaving their egos behind and standing together. He slowly went to stand by the window, looked down, and saw people were spreading out. No one was bumping into anyone, no one was causing chaos, as if everything was going according to an invisible law. He said to himself, "I have achieved so much, but have I ever felt such peace?" His mind started to think of his office, his busy schedule, his working nights, his tension, his restlessness, and suddenly he realized what he had been looking for all this time might not have been in money. He slowly turned to Yasin and said, "Have you always felt this way? I mean, this peace?" Yasin smiled lightly. "Not always. We are also human. We also have problems. But at least there is one direction, one path that brings me back to the right place again and again," Daniel said after a moment of silence. "I don't understand why, but what I saw is shaking me from the inside, as if I have missed something all this time. Yasin came a little closer and said, "It's normal. When people stand in front of a new truth, they first feel confused. Then questions arise. Then they slowly want to find answers." Daniel nodded. "Yes, I have a lot of questions now." Yasin said, "It's good to have questions, because if there are no questions, there is no need to find answers." The night gradually began to deepen, but a new light seemed to have started to shine inside Daniel. He couldn't sleep even when he was lying in bed. That scene kept coming back to his head. Millions of people, together in the same rhythm, without any confusion. He said to himself, "If this is true, then what did I know all this time?" A conflict began in his mind. On the one hand, his old beliefs, his familiar world. On the other hand, something new that he had seen with his own eyes today. He knew these questions could not be avoided because he had seen it now, and what was seen could not be forgotten. He got up at dawn and stood by the window. The city was still calm, but a storm was raging inside him. He understood. A decision was coming before him, but what that decision would be, he did not know yet. And it was at this point that the story deepened, because what was coming before was not just a scene, not a feeling, but a choice that could change his whole life. Part 4, final part. Daniel stood silent for a long time. His eyes were still fixed on the same scene. Millions of people at the same time, in the same rhythm, at the same time, as if the whole world had stopped for a moment and only this one scene had come to life. He slowly looked at Yasin, but this time there was no doubt in his eyes. Rather, there was surprise and a deeper question. He said softly, "How is this possible? No one is forcing them. No one is forcing them. Yet they all move the same way, prostrate the same way, stand the same way. How is this?" Yasin smiled a little, but there was a depth behind that smile this time. He said, "Friend, this is the thing that I wanted to show you. It is not the power of a person. It is not the power of an organization. It is the power of faith." Daniel looked at the window again. This time, his eyes were not just looking at the scene. It was as if he was trying to feel something. He said, "But they don't even understand each other's language. Some speak English, some speak Arabic, some speak Urdu. Yet how are they doing the same thing together?" Yasin slowly said, "Because their language is different, but their purpose is the same. Their mind is the same. They know who they are standing in front of. And when the purpose is the same, then language, country, color, nothing is a barrier anymore." Hearing this, Daniel seemed to stop. Something stirred inside him. He started thinking about his own life. So much money, so much power, so many people listening to him. But has he ever been able to create such unity? Has he ever been able to bring people together in such a way where there is no force, no obligation, there is only will and faith? He said slowly, "I have held many big meetings. I have controlled thousands of people together. But this is completely different. Here, no one is doing it for anyone. Everyone is doing it for something invisible." Yasin said, "That's right. They are doing it for a creator whom they don't see but believe in." A kind of softness came into Daniel's eyes now. He said, "Friend, I always thought faith was just an identity, a label. But today I understood it is something much bigger than that." A moment of silence fell. The prayer downstairs had ended. People were slowly spreading out. But the change that had begun inside Daniel had not stopped yet. He said slowly, If I want to understand this faith, then what do I have to do?" Yasin looked at him and said very calmly, "You don't have to force anything. You just have to look for the truth with an open mind. You have to find the answers to the questions inside you. And you have to say to the Creator, 'Show me the right path.'" Daniel closed his eyes for a moment. For the first time in his life, he felt so small, and at the same time, he felt so close to the truth. He opened his eyes and said, "Friend, I don't know if I can understand everything in one day, but today I understood one thing. What I have been looking for so long, maybe it is here." Yasin didn't say anything, just put his hand on his shoulder. The night was slowly ending, but a new dawn had begun in Daniel's life. And the story doesn't end here, because this story is not just Daniel's. This story is all of ours, because each of us lives in that question in one way or another. Do we really know what we believe? Do we ever stop and think, what is the real purpose of our life? Are we just chasing worldly success, or are we also looking for inner peace? Friend, now I have some questions for you. If you were in Daniel's place, would you believe this scene? Do you think, is it just a coincidence that so many people behave in the same way together? Or is there really something behind it that we haven't fully understood yet? And the most important question, have you ever felt that emptiness inside yourself that no money, no success can fill? Tell me your opinion in the comments. I really want to know what you think. And if you want to see more such realistic, thought-provoking stories, then subscribe to the channel now, because more stories are coming up that can change your perspective.